Stand up, New York Giant fans. What is going on, Mr. Baddog? Happy Tuesday, buddy.
Yeah, happy Tuesday. Get up, everybody. Let's go, G-Man. Let's do it.
Let's go. I am pumped up, man. Giants football starts in under 2 weeks. Crazy. Football season starts in 9 days. Gritty City's in the house. Afghanistan's in the house. Batgirl's in the house. Poppy Chulo Chad. We got Goat in the house. Kyle Johnson. Thank you for everybody for being here. DJ Brian, Sean Lee, Cushmaster. Thank you to everybody for being here. Do appreciate it. And we got a lot to talk about. The Giants, albeit preseason, 3-0, coming off a nice win against the Bengals. We saw some good, we saw some bad in that game. Yeah. Daniel Jones will be making his first start. We'll dive into that. We're going to talk about the roster breakdown, who we think is going to crack the 53-man roster. And maybe talk a little bit about that Cowboys game week 1.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot to talk about. We are, what, is it 11 days, 12 days from the Giants-Cowboys? It's crazy, man. Everybody was saying in May, I can't wait for football. And I always say, hey, I'm not in a hurry because before you know it, summer's over. Summer's freaking over. Labor Day's Monday, the unofficial end of summer. That's sad, but football's here, and I'm happy about that, man, because I'm always excited to watch the Giants play, man, always.
I can't wait, man, and next week is kind of a teaser. Nobody's going to play other than Daniel Jones getting his first start. All the backups are going to play. Yeah. I personally would have liked to have seen Eli get a few more reps, and now he's a veteran, we know that, but new receivers, I would have liked to see him develop a little more chemistry. He only had 3 drives throughout the preseason. But I'm not that concerned. I mean, by all accounts, he looked good in training camp, so hopefully he's ready to go day 1 against the Cowboys.
Yeah, he only threw 13 passes through those 3 games, so that was kind of strange. But I'll tell you, his game against the Bengals, those numbers looked a lot worse than they really were. I mean, he threw the ball really well. He hit Latimer twice, right in the hands, once in the numbers. And if Latimer catches those 2 passes, Eli ends up 6 for 7 with a touchdown. So 4 for 8, 42 yards or 41 yards doesn't look good at all. But if you actually watch the game, he threw the ball really well. Latimer's got to do a better job.
Right on the goal line. That's got to be a catch by Latimer. Catch. Slayton made a great catch in that game. And you know what? Let's talk about Slayton real quick. Slayton makes a great catch on the sideline. You get all pumped up. This guy misses all the training camp. He gets back for week 3, and then he goes and injures the same hamstring. They're
tricky. Hamstrings are tricky. I mean, it kept Odell Beckham out his rookie year. He missed all training camp and missed the first 3 weeks. I mean, those things can be tricky. I mean, it's a big muscle, so you're pulling those things or tweaking them, man. You're constantly put pressure on it when you're running. So you cut wrong, if it's not completely healed, you can restrain it. It's a pain in the ass, almost literally. I mean, it's right beneath your ass. So it sucks because we saw in OTA's minicamp the flashes of brilliance, and then you see the amazing adjustment to the ball. Daniel Jones threw a perfect ball where only Slayton could get that, made the adjustment, kept both feet in balance, went up, high pointed the ball. I mean, you're sitting there going, that's what we expected to see. He had a couple catches in that game, and you're like, yes, this is what we want to see. And you expect him to play a lot in the Patriots game, and then this happens.
And he might not make the roster because of it. I mean, that is a bad time to get that injury. You said it in your video today. I think he will, but there's a lot of competition. Not that there's great players there, but there's a lot of competition there, and the Giants need as much depth as they could get going into the season. He may not crack the opening day roster. It's possible he doesn't because of that injury.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see exactly what they do with these wide receivers. I mean, I think Darius Slayton has to make it. I mean, they picked him 5th in the 5th round. And again, there's a lot of talent there. He's a big body. He's fast.
The one thing he's got to work on is his routes, his route running. That's what all you heard all offseason. And the fact that he couldn't practice hurts that. He's got the ability, though. 6'1", the guy could jump out of the, I think he had a 40-inch vertical leap, very fast. He's got all the tools, like you said, in a wide receiver. He's got to fine-tune his game, but that's a lot of rookies.
Yeah, and he's got to stay healthy. I mean, that's the most important thing. You can't, like you said, you can't work on your routes. You can't work on anything if you can't see the field. So no matter how talented you are, I mean, look at Odell Beckham. I mean, he was one of the most talented receivers in the league, and he only played 59 out of 80 games for us. So you're not doing any good sitting on the sideline. So hopefully this hamstring thing isn't a big deal. Hopefully he's ready to go week 1, and we'll see if he makes a team. But there's a lot of wide receivers on this team, so I really don't know what they're going to do with that position. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Britton Golden had a great game last week. He made a couple of nice catches. The punt return will be interesting to see if he can crack it. We all know you like Russell a lot, the tall wide
I
receiver.
do like Alonzo Russell.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Like you said, Latimer's a guarantee. Golden Tate will not be on the opening day roster, right? Because he's suspended for 4 games.
Yep.
So you're gonna have Shepard, Latimer, and I think Fowler. I think those are your 3 100% guarantees.
Yes.
And then some guys have better chances than others at that position.
Yeah, I think Russell Shepard makes it easily.
Yeah,
he was there last year. I think he easily gets there. But then you start looking at your other guys there, and is it Britton Golden? Is it Reggie White Jr.? Is it Darius Slayton? I think Slayton's going to make it. So we'll see what happens. Though I mean, it's like I said, the problem with the Giants is none of these guys are like otherworldly talent. It's not like you have a bunch of number 2s and number 3s fighting for a spot. And most of these guys are unproven and really haven't done anything. So it kind of worries me just to see how well they can do against the first-string defense. So that's my biggest thing. I know Eli Manning and or Daniel Jones can put the ball where it needs to be put. We've seen that all preseason.
Right.
But these receivers have got to get open, because if they're not open, then you can't throw the ball, and that causes sacks or that causes turnovers. So I'm hoping that these guys can find a way to get open. And again, Evan Ingram's got to be a big part of a pass game. He's got to be the guy. He's got to take the step up. He's got to replace the production that Golden Tate's going to give you. Plus it's like he has to really step up. Evan Ingram's got to be a big part of this passing offense the first 4 weeks without Golden Tate there.
And Evan Ingram, last day in training camp, well, not today. Today was kind of just a walkthrough, they said, for the the game. But Evan Ingram, they said, looked great that last day of training camp, so that was very encouraging to see. They said he caught a couple of deep balls, and I think that is going to be his role in this offense. I think he is going to be the deep threat. He's going to be the guy up the seam that I think catches up most of the deep balls that are thrown. And maybe a Slayton if he cracks the team and gets playing time, but I think Evan Ingram is going to be their big playmaker in the passing game.
I think he has to be, and I think they got to do it off play action. But again, I mentioned last week, I think the Giants have to do it backwards. I think they have to pass in order to open up the run, because there's no way that teams are going to sit there and worry about you Cody Latimers, you Benny Fowlers, even Sterling Shepard. It's not like there's an Odell Beckham where you're like, we really got to pay attention to this guy. These teams are going to say, we're not letting Saquon Barkley get loose. We will make you beat us with Benny Fowler and Cody Latimer. So those guys have got to step up. And then even with 8-man boxes, the Giants have got to make a concerted effort to run the ball. They can't just look at that and go, well, we're not going to run it. Because again, with an 8-man box, if Barkley gets through there, he's gone.
Right.
Because there's nobody back there.
Right.
So you got to break a couple plays early to kind of alleviate that 8-man box. But Dallas is going to come out and say, hey, we feel like we can cover you guys man to man. You're going to have to beat us with your pass game. So Eli and the receivers are going to have to do the job.
That's going to be every team this year. Every team this year, early on, until the Giants can prove that they could beat them with that passing attack, they are going to stuff the box, and they are going to make Saquon Barkley. They're going to try to make the Giants one-dimensional. That's easier said than done. We saw a lot of teams try to do that against Barkley last year, and hopefully with the revamped offensive line, like you said, Barkley could bounce a couple of big runs out. But they're gonna give Eli opportunities. He's gonna have one-on-one opportunities, and Eli's gonna have to take advantage of it. Albeit he doesn't have the best, most talented wide receivers, but I think Shepard could get open. I think Ingram could get open if you give him one-on-one coverage, and they're gonna have to do that to back off the defense, and that's what they're gonna have to do week 1, and it will not be easy. Dallas has a great defense.
Yes, they do, and I think Evan Ingram could beat anybody one-on-one. I think he's that talented. I also think Sterling Shepard can win in a one-on-one situation. It's the other guys I'm more concerned about. But like we said, just break a couple big plays, and that's going to stop. So you just got to prove you can make those plays. You make those plays, and then everything will open up for that offense. The offensive line being what it is definitely going to help. That they'll have more time to get open. It's not like Eli's going to only have a couple seconds this time. He should have more time. And you're probably going to see a lot of quick slants. I mean, that just seems to be what Eli's game is. I mean, even in this preseason, we saw just a lot of quick slants. It's just what it is. Step back action, boom, throw the ball, get it out of there. So I would imagine that's going to be the game plan. But we'll see. I mean, you're not getting a look at the playbook right now.
No, you're not. You never get a look at the playbook in preseason. And I think the Giants are kind of keeping it under wraps. And we'll see how it looks. Week 1 against Dallas. It's certainly going to be a great test. We're going to talk a little bit more about the preseason. Just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, Jessica's in the house. Madden Football's in the house. Bobby Woodruff, Hitbit, Steven Evans, Ben's the Knees, D-Man Entertainment, Jackie Boy. Thank you for being here. And if you haven't done so, please go into the link in the description and sub up my man, Mr. Baddog.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I just want to say, when you did the trivia the other night, Steven Evans is cracking me the hell up, man. That guy's hilarious, man. He's cracking me the hell up, man. I love listening to him, man.
He calls me the Moss Boss now.
That's awesome. Man. Love it. Yeah, he was cracking me up, man. He's good. He's good.
But anyway, so let's get back to the game, and then we'll talk a little bit about this week, but let's still talk a little bit more about the Bengals, how Daniel Jones looked. Daniel Jones now I think he's 25 for 30.
Yeah.
Unbelievable stuff.
25 for 30, 369 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He's averaging more than 12 yards an attempt. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Compare that with Dwayne Haskins, who's barely over 50% completion percentage, and Kyler Murray, who I think is averaging about 6 yards an attempt.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones has blown every rookie out of the water.
He's looked damn good. Damn good so far.
I mean, everybody's like, oh, you're getting all high off 3 preseason games. I said, what do we have to compare him to? I mean, what are we supposed to judge him on?
Right.
All we can judge him on is what he's done in the field.
Right.
He's been amazing. I mean, we can't help who he's playing, and we can't be like, well, we throw all this away. None of this matters. No, it does matter. He's very confident. You can see this guy owns the huddle. He's confident in his throws. He goes through his progressions. He puts the ball where it needs to be, and he reads the defense really well. He's a smart kid. And his arm strength is way better than anybody thought it was.
Oh, yeah.
Way better than Listen, Chris Carter said it best. The offense they ran at Duke is nothing like this kind of offense. So nobody saw this quarterback except for the Giants and Denver and Washington, because I don't care what they say, Chris. They wanted him. I don't care what they say.
Well,
and
that's the word that came out after the fact, that they did want him, which is why the Giants took him at 7. Now, after the draft, we didn't believe that, but maybe now that seems to be the case, the way he's looked. Maybe teams saw something in this kid.
Well, that's why I'm sitting here on YouTube and they're in the front office making the big dogs. Because I like I said, I never watched Duke football. So I sitting there looking at his stats saying you took and all I can think about is Dave Brown.
Right.
He went to
Number
Duke.
17, right.
And, I'm just sitting there going, God, not again. It took me a couple days to get over it, and then I was like, all right, let me look at the film. And I was like, gee, well, he's a lot better than I thought he was.
Yeah.
And he's a lot better than I thought he was, even after watching the film.
I'll tell you, that throw he made to Britton Golden, he scanned the whole field, right? He looks left, he looks kind of left center, then he goes center, and then he throws an absolute bullet right down the center of the field. That was a beautiful throw, and then the throw to the Slayton he's made also was a great throw. It
was, and what's great about that is that he got rocked the play before, because Nate Solder completely whiffed. And not only did he get blindsided, he got hit by the linebacker right in the face. So he finally took a really good hit. Then he stood in the pocket tall and made that throw to Darius Slayton. Another thing Daniel Jones does really well, I noticed, he looks off the safety. He does a really good job of looking off the safety. Like when Chris Carter bashed him one time, he's like, he didn't look off the safety. That's because when he looked, the safety didn't go with the receiver. So he's like, that's open. My first read's open. I'm going with it.
Right.
And he threw a perfect pass. But you watch him now, and even Chris Carter said it. He says he's looking at the safety. He looks off the safety. Brian Baldinger loves Daniel Jones. He loves Daniel Jones. He thinks he's unbelievable. And I don't know if you ever watched Brian Baldinger's breakdowns. It's called Baldy's Breakdowns or whatever. He does a really good job of breaking down the Daniel Jones film. And I mean, I can't believe how good he's been. And obviously he's not going to play the Patriots first string guys again, but hopefully he can continue the momentum with the second string receivers and second string line. I mean, I guess we'll see what it is, but
yeah, I'm not going to get too excited off this week because it's second teamers. I wish he got a little more experience against the first teamers, but hopefully he continues to build up that confidence. That's all we could say. This week is going to be about the guys that are trying to crack the roster, because the starters ain't playing. Barkley ain't playing. Nobody on defense is playing. We should touch on the defense against the Bengals. Didn't look good. That first team defense. The Andy Dalton, I think, was 7 of 10, 100 and something yards, moved the ball down the field at ease. Did not look good the first team. And it's kind of been the same story throughout preseason. Sam Darnold moved the ball on them very well. But we expect that. It's a young defense. They're still learning.
Yeah, the secondaries. I mean, it's just really inexperienced, and DeAndre Baker didn't play in that game, so Corey Ballantyne. He got a learning experience again. I mean, he had some good, he had some bad. Looked like he and Peppers had some miscommunication on the touchdown pass. Dexter Lawrence, I thought, did play very well, though.
Yes, he
I
did.
thought Dexter Lawrence had a very good game. He really pushed the pile. He had the deflection. He was double-teamed a lot, and he's still making plays. I mean, there was one play where he was double-teamed, and the running back went through the hole, and he just took him and just threw him down with one freaking hand. And I'm like, that is a strong man, because that guy was gone. He just said, nope, get back here, like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. Get over here. Threw him on the ground. So I thought Dexter Lawrence played really well. But yeah, the defense is a huge question mark for sure.
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence, I think, is going to have a great year for the Giants. He's the rookie that I'm most confident with for the first season. I think he's going to be absolutely fantastic. You brought up Ballantyne. He's still getting first team reps in practice. He was getting them even with Baker back. He's getting first team reps. They were splitting. I expect Baker to be the starter, but it'll be interesting to see if Ballantyne gets some burn week 1 against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean it'll be because I think Grant Haley's going to be the nickel corner, but I think you may see a rotation of Ballantyne and DeAndre Baker. Perhaps
certain packages too. You could have an extra corner out there, something like that.
Yeah, I mean they may go a dime package or whatever, but I don't see that against Cowboys. I mean we know what the hell is going on with Ezekiel Elliott.
Right.
I mean that's a big question going into week 1.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we going to do?
Let's talk about that a little bit. Yeah, Zeke Elliott still has not signed that contract, which I think is crazy. They offered him the second highest total of any running back in football, and he's turned it down. He's still holding out, and I hope he holds out past week 1. Let him come back week 2 if he wants, but sit out against the Giants. We'll have to wait and see. I still think the Cowboys are going to be tough to beat even without Zeke because that offensive line is still as good as it gets, and we could run behind there and average 4 yards a carry. So. I always go back to it. Look at DeMarco Murray. He was with the Cowboys the next year. He's barely in the NFL with the Eagles. He played horrible. I know that the system, everybody says, didn't fit his style, but he wasn't to be heard from after he left the Cowboys. So I think that you could stick almost any decent running back there, and they're going to play at least above average.
Yeah, we're going to definitely have to get some push up front. That's what you got to hope you get from Dexter Lawrence. That's what he was brought in here for, is to get the push up front and to help stop the run. You got to hope B.J. Hill and Dexter Lawrence and those guys can stuff that run. You got to make Dak Prescott beat you. So, it'll be interesting. I don't really know what the Cowboys are going to do, what their game plan will be without Ezekiel Elliott. But Dak Prescott's always, tough with his legs on like a 3rd and 6 too, where he can make the play with his legs. So, that's where Lorenzo Carter's kind of got to spy him. But I don't know what the Cowboys are going to do. It's very interesting because they're obviously a much different team without Zeke and with him.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Corey Lewis, for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. He says, I know it's early, but I'm starting to scout some wide receivers. So are you? What do you mean by scout some wide receivers? Do you mean guys to bring up for free agency, draft? Oh, you're talking about for the draft for next year. That's probably what you're alluding to. And yeah, the Giants could certainly take a wide receiver next year early in the draft. There's a bunch of them that see the CD, the compact, this guy. Yeah, but there's a lot of good receivers in next year's draft. Everybody talks about it, and it's very possible the Giants do take a wide receiver in the first round of next year's draft. And like we said, you could cut Golden Tate after 2 years. It's only a $5 million dead cap hit. So They certainly could take one for next year's team. I wouldn't be shocked at all in the first round. I personally would probably want a pass rusher. Or a right tackle if they're going to go in the first round, but I wouldn't be upset if they took a wide receiver.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that kid from Alabama, Jerry Jeudy, he's special.
He's going to be top 3 pick.
He's going to be a top 10, maybe even a top 5. I don't. But Gettleman won't do that. Yeah. The Giants are top 5. Gettleman's not picking a receiver top 5. It's just not his style. It's not his style. If they're picking 18th, 16th, and CeeDee Lamb's there, that I could see. But I can't if they're picking 3rd. Like I saw some mock draft. I always love how they mock draft the 2020 draft already. Like,
right.
So you're already assuming where the Giants are going to pick. So one guy has us picking 3rd overall and then taking Jerry Jeudy 3rd. I'm like, the Giants won't do that. If they're picking 3rd and there's not a right tackle or a pass rusher there, Gettleman will trade back. I mean, I think the Giants have to go.
They could go middle linebacker, too. They could go middle linebacker. If there's an elite middle linebacker in this year's draft. If, say, they're picking 8 or 9, I could see them doing something like that, too. But we'll have to wait and see. That's obviously far away. Right now, we're focused on this year And we're focused on Eli Manning. Daniel Jones, we'll get to watch him one more time with the start, and then it's on to the ones. It's on to Saquon Barkley, Eli Manning, Evan Ingram, and see how they compete against the Dallas Cowboys week 1.
Yeah. Well, Eli Manning, I guess we'll see. It's so weird that you see that picture on Twitter. Everybody surrounding Daniel Jones and Eli Manning just putting shoes on. It is a strange situation to know that Eli's kind of on the outs. I mean, it's just never, I mean, you knew it was going to happen someday, but it's just weird, all this commotion. And it's happening because Daniel Jones has been just so spectacular in the preseason. How I can't get over how good he is. I can't get over how good he is. I mean, he's got everybody saying he should start week 1, which he's not going to do. But he probably is going to start at some point this season. And that's why I know you and I both did videos like within 20 minutes of one another. And I was probably uploading mine while you were recording yours.
Probably.
That, the Colts, it's funny. We did those videos, and then either the next day or the day after, CBS Sports and a couple other things brought that same thing up. And I said, yep, they watch our videos. But it's far-fetched.
No, I don't expect it
not
to
going to
happen.
happen.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the perfect situation. If the Giants were ever going to trade Eli Manning, there's the perfect situation for him.
I'll say one other thing. Even if they don't trade Eli Manning, he finishes the year as a Giant, that'd be great. If he wants to continue to play, say the Colts go 7-9, 8-8 with Jacoby Brissett, they don't finish in the top 5-6 picks. They don't get one of these top quarterbacks. Eli Manning on a 1-year contract makes a ton of sense there. A ton of sense there. With that offensive line, the dome, it helps him with his lack of arm strength. It makes a ton of sense there. I'll say that. The following year, if they want to get him on a 1 or 2 year contract, I could see it.
Right. Yeah, that's why. Again, it's not like we're saying we want him to get traded, but and it's not even like we said he was going to. We just said that is it possible the Colts ask about?
Yeah. I wouldn't feel confident as a Colts fan going into the year with Jacoby Brissett. I mean, people want to bash Eli Manning, and we get it. He's not what he was. He still has a lot more experience than Brissett does, and he knows how to read a defense. And, we always say it. If you give this guy an offensive line, he's not going to be what he was, but he could still be a productive quarterback.
Well, they hate him because they're all saying Jacoby Brissett's better than Eli Manning. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know what world you're living in. What are you, Chris Sims? Jacoby Brissett is not better than Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's not. No, he's not. But, I don't expect it to happen. I'd be shocked. And for it to even be worth anything, for me, at least a 2nd-round pick. I wouldn't do it even for a 3rd. I would need probably at least a 2nd-round pick, and I don't know if they would get that.
Yeah, I don't think they'd get that much.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. If they got 2/3?
Maybe.
Because Eli's not coming back next year.
Yeah.
So you get nothing for him anyway.
The one thing is Eli has the no-trade clause. Everybody said that in my comments in the video, and that's absolutely correct. But if you're Eli Manning and you know Daniel Jones is replacing you and you have an opportunity to go and compete potentially for a Super Bowl at the place where your brother used to play, I think he would waive. I think he'd waive that no-trade clause.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not like he's not going. It's not like he wouldn't be going into a good situation. It's not like he'd be going in there with the offensive line that Andrew Luck had his whole career.
Right.
He's now going into a team that has a watertight offensive line, one of the best in the league. So, it was an interesting thought. But again, I think Eli's finished.
It's not that I expect. It's not I expect. But it's just funny that it was the first thing we both thought of when that came up.
It was. Great minds, baby. Great minds.
But real quick, let's go over the battles in terms of the 53-man roster, who we expect to make it. The running back position, in my video, I kind of changed my mind after the fact. I thought about it. In my video, I said Perkins, and I said Smith would get those backup running back spots, and I left Gallman off the roster. Since then, I kind of think Perkins will be left off, and I think Gallman will make the roster. But I'm not sure. That's an interesting battle there. I only see 4 running backs making it. Barkley, Penny, and 2 out of those 3.
Right. See, I think somebody mentioned this in the game against Cincinnati. I said, why is Gallman getting so many touches? And they said it could be because the Giants are trying to showcase him.
That's possible, too.
I didn't like the way he ran against Cincinnati. I thought he pussyfooted it up to the line. Like the first play of the game, Giants sealed off the right side, and he had a wide open lane to go to the outside, get 10 to 12 yards, and I don't know what he was doing. It's like he hesitated, and he was looking for a hole, and he didn't see it, and then he kind of just ran out of bounds after a 2-yard gain. Like, that's what Gallman's having a hard time. I don't like his vision. I think he sits back there too long, and he's not running. And it's not good when your quarterback, Eli Manning's outrunning you because he had a lead block out there, and Gallman couldn't catch up to him. I'm like, what is going on with that?
Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. Chris Bass says, boom! I'd rather have Hillman over Gallman. Hillman, of course, is the, I think he's out of Rutgers, if I'm not mistaken. He's out of Jersey.
Yeah.
A lot of people like him. He looked good. I think it was week 2. He looked good there in the third and fourth quarter. A lot of people like Hillman. I don't think he's in contention. I think he's going to be on the practice squad. I think Smith, Perkins, and Gallman are all above him on the depth chart. But he could definitely work his way up. Much like in Orleans Darkwa did. Guys like that, they start on the practice squad. They work their way up. That wouldn't shock me. Next year he makes the team.
Yeah, I think I think Gallman will be left off. If I just whatever shooting it out there, I would agree with your initial video. I think it'll be Perkins and
Smith.
Rod Smith.
Yeah. And what about the quarterback? Do you think it'll be Tanny or Loletta? Do you even think they go 3 quarterbacks? We'll start there.
I think they got to keep Loletta. I think Tanny's looked terrible.
Yeah.
I think Tanny's looked awful the last 2 games.
Yeah.
And he overthrew everybody. Loletta's actually looked pretty solid.
He has looked pretty good. The reason I said Tanny in my video is because of his experience. Not that he's played a lot on the field, but he's been in the league for 9-10 years. I thought he'd have more value, on the bench, teaching, going over plays with Daniel Jones. That's why I was like, maybe that makes more sense because he's a more experienced quarterback. But obviously Eli Manning could help with that.
Well, somebody actually...
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was just going to say, somebody actually did mention that in one of the videos that I did, that Daniel Jones learns a lot from Alex Tanny. And I said that's a good point, because your third-string quarterback, you're not expecting him to play. So if it comes down to Tanny being in the game with Loletta, you're in deep shit anyway.
Right.
So maybe Tanny is more valuable as a veteran coach that can help Daniel Jones, because Eli Manning's playing. So
yeah, that was my initial thought. Chris Gardello, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me get that real quick. He says, Baddog, stop cheating at trivia. Stop using Google.
If I can type and get Google results that quick, I should be doing something else.
I think he's kidding.
And I'll tell you what, people need to come to me for Google. I must have been. I think people were thinking that when I said Emlyn Tunnell, because somebody said it was Dick Lynch. I said Emlyn Tunnell is second only to Paul Krause in career interceptions. Paul Krause had 81 interceptions between the Vikings and Redskins. Emlyn Tunnell had 79 interceptions. He's second all time. Emlyn the Gremlin. I just know my shit.
Emlyn the Gremlin. What's a better nickname than that? And Rudy T, thank you so much for the super chat. One of our best subscribers. He says, shout out to my 2 favorite media personnel. We appreciate that.
Appreciate that, Rudy.
Thank you for being here, buddy. We do appreciate it. If you guys haven't done so, please hit that thumbs up. Join the channel. Ring the bell. Go into the description and sub up Mr. Baddog. He's going to be live streaming the game on Thursday.
Yes.
I'll try to pop in this time for the fourth quarter because it's 7:30 game.
Yeah. That 6-second delay I had between hitting that Skype button and actually going to you, that actually evened out the playing field, because I think there was 2 questions I didn't know. They were both the Mets questions. Obviously the Delgado one, which I can't believe I missed that. I knew Piazza wasn't the damn answer to that.
Oh no, it was Hundley and Beltran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beltran. I thought somebody said Delgado.
No, it was Beltran. Carlos Beltran.
I could have swore somebody said Delgado when they answered that.
If they did, it was wrong, and I screwed up. Chris Bass, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, nothing else for me to say, Giants-wise. Gotta go. Y'all have a good night, and keep up the great content. Thank you so much, Chris Bass.
Chris.
I really do appreciate that. Dilly, thank you for being a great part of both of our channels.
Yes,
and thank you to everybody for being here. We always appreciate it. And of course, we're gonna take questions. It's 10:50. We're gonna talk probably another 10-15 minutes, and then we'll get to some questions from you guys. So stick around. If you got some questions, just wait on them. Joe Lutz, thank you for being here, buddy. Great subscriber of mine. But yeah, so now we go to this week. This week, and we got into the roster cuts. We started with the running back. You say go with 3 quarterbacks, right?
I think they'll go with 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Brandon Rogers, man. Thank you so much. He says, Baddog and Tana, what's going on? Dilly. But yeah, all right, so we got quarterback, running back out of the way. Offensive line, I'm not going to get too much of the details. I think they go with 8 or 9 offensive linemen. We'll go to the wide receiver position. That, to me, is probably the most interesting position in terms of roster cuts. And if I had to guess, I think they go with 7. when you factor in special teams, I think you hit it right on the head with Russell Shepard. He's a great special team standout. He's a veteran. I think he's on the roster. I think Latimer's on the roster. I think Sterling Shepard's on the roster. Benny Fowler's on the roster. Those 4 are set. And then the last 3 spots will come down to, we'll see. We'll see with there's some guys I like and I'm really rooting for, like the Russell I like. I don't know if there's enough space for him though. I really don't. It's gonna be tight.
I think he can make it as a special teamer. Yeah. I really think that play on the interception, I think that stands. And he had a really nice catch in that Bengals game with a 2-point conversion where he just jumped up in the air and just snatched it out of the air. He's looked really good in these games. He's been open and they just miss him. And Slayton, he was open twice and Tandy overthrew him. He was streaking down the side. Should have been a long touchdown, and Tandy overthrew him both times. And then, of course, he did make the great catch on the Daniel Jones throw. I think Slayton's too talented to leave off the roster. He's just got to get healthy. But when he is healthy,
when he's healthy, he's on the roster, no doubt about it. I just don't know if he's going to be healthy week 1. But yeah, I will say Slayton. I don't know. TJ Jones has looked good. I know he's a veteran and he doesn't have as much upside as some of these guys. He's looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's had good rapport with Daniel Jones. But then again, Britton Golden has as well.
Yeah.
It's
going to be tough.
Like I said, these guys are – it's really a battle for your number 5 receiver. So, take it or leave it. I guess you have to pick which guys have the best upside at that point.
Yeah.
I think that's how you do it. And that's why I think you got to go with Slayton.
Yeah, yeah. As long as Slayton's going to be ready. As long as he's going to be ready. Because we can't afford with Golden Tate already off the roster. If Slayton's not going to play week 1, I think he starts on the practice squad or injuries or whatever it would be. But we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully he gets his hamstring ready. But I agree with you. If he's ready to go, he has to be on the roster. He's too talented, too fast. He's our best deep threat, probably, on the outside. So, yeah, I think he has to make the roster if he's ready to go. And then at the tight end, it'll be interesting to see if they go with 3 or 4 tight ends. Because you got, obviously we were all pulling for C.J. Conrad. Evan Ingram is a given. Red Ellison's a given. You got Simonson. You got, I think his name's Dickerson, the other tight end. So they got a lot of guys there. He's hurt right now, Dickerson. So he hasn't, I think he played today in training camp, if I'm not mistaken. But that's an interesting race as well, whether or not they'll go with 3 or 4 tight ends.
I think Simonson's gone.
Really?
I think Simonson's looks terrible. He has looked terrible.
Yeah.
The guy can't catch the ball.
Yeah.
You're a third string receiver and you can't catch the ball. Why are you here?
Yeah.
C.J. Conrad's been a lot better than him. So is Dickerson, for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Scott Simonson dropped the pass right in his hands to the one that Daniel Jones threw, and then Kyle Letta hit him right in the frickin' hands, and he dropped that one too. And I'm like, dude, you got to catch the ball. You have limited opportunities. Make the play. Because that tight end spot, there's no guarantees after, Ingram.
Yeah.
There's even a point where you and I thought Red Ellison might get caught for the cap space.
Just for the cap space, yeah. I thought it was a possibility for sure. But he's going to be there at this point. And he looked like he had some good rapport with Daniel Jones. A couple of nice play-action rollouts. He had Ellison there in the flat. I like Ellison. Ellison played good for us last year.
Yeah, he's a good player. And he's a good blocker.
Yeah.
But, he was kind of brought in as like the fullback, and they have a fullback now with Elijah Penny. So, I don't know. There's a lot of interesting battles that we're going to find out here in the next week or so who the hell's on the team.
Yeah.
Because they haven't made a lot of cuts, so they got to get down to it here soon.
Yeah, I would imagine probably a day or two after the final game, probably by Saturday. I would think that they'll have the roster ready to go. Can't wait to see what happens. On the defense, I think they're going to go with at least 6 corners. D-line's pretty cut and dry. I had, obviously, the starting 3 with Tomlinson, with B.J. Hill, with Dexter Lawrence. I had McIntosh. And what's the guy's name that got the sack? I forgot his name off the top of my head.
Is that,
I think
Olsen Pierre.
Yeah, Olsen Pierre. I had those 5 making the roster there on the D-line. Linebackers are cut and dry. We know who's making it there. Kareem Martin will be the 4th outside linebacker along with the 3 Givens. And then in the middle, you're going to have Ogletree. You're going to have
Tay Davis.
Tay Davis. You're going to have Conley and B.J. Goodson probably. And then the secondary, I think it's cut and tried too at the same. I think the offense is more up for grabs than the defense. I think the defense we pretty much know for the most part.
That's because we have no depth on defense.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I mean that's really what it is. It's just there's not a lot of depth there. But Zemenies has looked really good. Very impressed with O'Shane Zemenies. Zeminis, however you say it. But he's looked really good the last 2 weeks. Very impressed. That speed rush reminded me a lot of JPP.
Yeah.
He reminded me a lot of JPP in his prime, against the Bengals. I thought he played really well. I think it's the second week in a row. Actually, had 2 sacks. I think he had against the Bengals. I think he had a sack against the Bears too. So, these kids got talent. They just need experience, Chris, and that's what it's going to be. You're going to have to learn on the job. They're going to go through growing pains, But if they learn this stuff, they're talented enough where they can evolve into a really good defense by the end of the year. But they're going to start off. They're going to struggle. I know Giants fans want to believe we're going to get the pass rush because of the way they look, but there's a lot of inexperience there. I don't trust that defense early in the season.
Yeah,
The thing that helps us is we have easier opponents.
Exactly. Maybe build a little confidence, whatever. And I'm worried about that Buffalo Bills game. We always struggle with running quarterbacks. It worries me a little bit with Josh Allen. I know he's not the most accurate guy. I worry about him breaking containment against our defense. But we'll have to wait and see. One thing I will say, though, we do have guys on the edge that have athleticism. Lorenzo Carter can move.
Yes.
So, and he's looked good. He hasn't gotten sacks, really, but he's made
a lot of pressures.
He's looked good. I liked what I've seen out of Lorenzo Carter as well. Some encouraging stuff. The secondary's really been subpar so far.
Yeah, it's just like I said, just a lot of inexperience. Julian Love, Corey Ballantyne, they're all rookies.
Yeah.
What do you expect? Grant Haley's a second-year guy. Julius Peppers is a third-year guy. So there's not. You got Buffet and you got Janoris Jenkins. There's your experience, but everybody else in that secondary is very young. A lot of them are wet behind the ears. So again, they haven't seen any extravagant playbooks either,
right?
Which worries me more than anything. They're just looking at a base offense and they're getting beat. So,
right.
Like I said, they got talent, but they lack experience. You need experience at the NFL level. The first few weeks are going to be tough for that defense, but they can get it together and grow as a defense and learn from their mistakes and get better as the year goes on. Then by the end of the year, you're going to see a lot better defense, and you're going to bring that into the next year. That's kind of what they're building for. This team ain't ready to win a Super Bowl this year.
No,
but
not even close.
They have to build towards it. That's all.
Yeah, it takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day. But to me, we didn't even talk about it. The highlight of training camp and the preseason has been, outside of Daniel Jones, of course, has been the offensive line. Will Hernandez was a little sloppy this past week, but overall, the offensive line, it's night and day. When you see the protection that Daniel Jones has had, that Eli Manning has had, the holes that they've had to run with the first team offensive line. I'm not judging the second team. I mean, it's night and day. I'm very encouraged by that. That to me is the most important part of this offseason, improving that offensive line going forward, and I think they definitely did it.
Oh, that right side is unbelievable. The improvement that they have with Zeitler there is such a difference. Will Hernandez, I don't know what's going on with him. He's committing a lot of penalties. I just think he's I think he's just been lazy. Yeah. But the good thing is Will Hernandez says, admitted, he said, I got to do better. I got to do better. I think he had 4 penalties, 3 accepted penalties. He had a trip. He had a couple holds. He had a false start. Nate Solder, I don't know how the hell you let a second or third string defensive end just go right past you and blindside Daniel Jones. That's not good. Solder's got to do better. I mean, come on, man. You're a veteran. You got to do better than that. They got to do better. That left side's got to do better. They've done good. They got to do better. That left side has to be freaking great.
Yeah, that left side should be top 10 in the league. It should be top 10 in the league, between Solder and Hernandez. So, and the right side's going to be improved. I'm looking forward to it, though. That week 1 is going to be a great test. Great test in terms of how we hold up against that Dallas defense. Oh, thank you so much. Young Julie with the, I don't know what currency that is. He donated that last time. I think it's some North Korean or South Korean currency. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. He says Daniel Jones is better than Dak. He's better than Wentz. He's better than Haskins. Don't worry, brother. This kid will lead us to the Super Bowl again. Trust me. Go Giants. I'm with you. He's going to take us to the Super Bowl one day. Just not this year. We got to be patient.
Sorry, Brett Gardner just hit a 3-run home, right? Got a little distracted here. distracted.
Definitely not. Well, QC, what's going on, my man? Thank you for popping in. And yeah, it's 11:01. We've been talking for 40 minutes, blabbing. We will take some of your questions, guys. Obviously, keep them somewhat Giant related. I see Kid Blues in the house. If you haven't done so, please go over to Kid Blues channel. Subscribe to that guy. Batgirl's in the house. Thank you for tuning in, Batgirl. But Kid Blue and me, we're going to be doing some collabs. He'll definitely be on the channel. I'll be on his. So looking forward to that, too, during the season.
That's cool, though. I've never seen that currency I've never seen that currency before, so that's cool. I always like the different currencies.
Yeah.
Young Tu Lee. I like that.
Okay. Here we go. Chris Orr says, Chris Orr, thank you for being here. Great subscriber. He says, Chris and Bad Dog, would you consider the Giants as a sleeper this season?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be honest.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I'm not.
7-9 is not. They'll do better than people think they will, but they're not contending. They're too young. They're just too young right now.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what your definition of sleeper is. But, if you think, we think that they're going to do better than what the experts think, if you go by that definition. But in terms of being a sleeper for a playoff team or a Super Bowl contender, no. No.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think ESPN, something I was reading, I don't know if it was ESPN or a different one, predicted the Giants go 9-7.
ESPN?
And I think it was ESPN predicted them to go 9-7. I said, what is ESPN do? They've completely changed their mind, saying we're going to be the worst team over the next 3 years. Then they say we're top 5 in talent under 25. Now they're predicting us to go 9-7. Daniel Jones is changing the entire mantra of ESPN.
They had us ranked 30th in the power rankings like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And now they predicted us to go 9-7.
Crazy.
It is.
Dallas definitely might embarrass our tackles. Thoughts, Lamel Sinclair says. That's a big worry of mine. I mean, they got those big hog mollies. I don't know. Are you talking about the defensive tackles, or maybe he's talking about it on the offensive side of the ball? Either way, I think they could embarrass us on both sides of the ball. So I definitely worry about that. They're strong. They're really strong in those areas.
Actually, I think our offensive line will do okay against Dallas.
Yeah,
they got to just stop D-Law. Jalen Smith, Van Der Esch, they're. I don't know if they're great pass rushers. They're very athletic guys, and they're beasts as far as, tackling. They're tackling machines, but I don't know if they're I don't know how good Dallas's pass rush is, to be honest with you. I think the offensive line can do the job. I just worry, as far as protecting Eli, I just worry about being able to run against the box because Smith and Van Der Esch are very good at that. So.
That's the key. And the key to beating Dallas, obviously, is stuffing the run on the defensive side, but also winning the time of possession, because you have to win because that's the Cowboys have to win the time of possession to win football games. So if the Giants can do that, if Barkley can run effectively, they can open up holes. But that, like you said, is going to be very hard to do.
We got to win the turnover battle. We got to get a couple turnovers.
Yeah.
We got to get a couple turnovers, get a short field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A fumble. Yeah, we got something has to happen. Special teams play.
Defense has to make a play.
Yeah. Tana Bado, Giants getting 7 week 1. What's your opinion? Oh, all right, so they're getting 7 points in the spread, he's saying.
Is that with or without Zeke?
Exactly. I can't speak on the spread until we find out about Zeke. I think if Zeke plays, I think that's about right. I think 7 points is about right with Zeke. I think that's right around where I'd have it. Without Zeke, I'd probably say 4 or 5 for the Cowboys, maybe 3.5. I think he's probably a 3-point, swing if he doesn't play. So yeah, with Zeke, I think 7's fair.
Yeah. By the way, we got 185 people in here, so thank you so much for joining, man. We really, really, really appreciate it, guys and gals. We only got 64 thumbs ups, man. What's up with that? I mean, I'm no cap guru like Howie Roseman, where they can sign everybody, including Jadeveon Clowney now. But hit that thumbs up for my man, the Entertainer. Hit that thumbs up for the G-Man. Let's go, baby.
Please hit that thumbs up, and please subscribe. If you haven't done so, go into the description and sub up Mr. Bad Dog. We do this all the time. We're going to be doing it twice a week in the season. Gabe says, Tana Bad Dog, what do you guys think are the odds of us starting 4-0 this season? Not
200 to 1.
I wouldn't say that. If I'm being honest, because if they beat the Cowboys, not that I would think they're going to win the next 3, but I'd give them a chance to win those next 3. So if we beat the Cowboys, I'm not picking it. I think they're going to either be 2-2 or 3-1. I think they're going to do well those next 3 games. I'm leaning 2-2. Their first 4.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not going 4-0. They're not going 4-0.
Well, that's why it's 200 to 1. But if Zeke don't play, maybe 50 to 1.
Yeah, maybe 50 to 1. Maybe 50 to 1. What's
Speaking
going on,
50 to
Delano?
1, Bobby Woodruff is 51 on Thursday.
Happy birthday, Bobby. Happy birthday. We've said it to him already today, but we'll say it again. Steven even says he has a comment for Baddog. Go ahead.
Steven Evans.
It was not a stupid question, Sonor. It was a good question.
Clowney wants to go to Philadelphia. Yeah, that's funny because Clowney also wants a big-time contract. Philly can't give it to him. So what the hell does he want to go there for? Guy wants $120 million for 5 years. They can't pay that.
No. It'd almost be a 1-year rental. That's what it would be. You know, they're not going to keep him if they trade him.
Yeah. So why would he go there? He wants to get paid.
Yeah.
Listen, remember what he did in college. Do you think he wants to play without the contract and get hurt, not get his contract?
Right. He sat out that whole year.
He's knowing he's going to want an extension.
Right.
Philly can't give him that. I'm sorry. As great as everybody thinks Harry Roseman is with a cap, for some reason Philly doesn't have a cap problem. They don't even have a cap. They can get everybody.
They got $500 million in cap space.
But that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, because Carson Wentz is on his new contract next year. That changes everything.
Yeah. What's going on, Mickey? Thank you for tuning in the stream. Ronnie Broadway in the house. With the week schedule, I agree with the week schedule. 2-2, 3-1 is not unreasonable. I'm not picking. I got him at 2-2, I think, but 3-1 is possible.
I actually think I had him 3-1. Who
They
we got? We got Dallas,
Buffalo at home,
Tampa,
Redskins,
and Washington.
Yeah.
No, I think we can go 3-1 there.
I think we could definitely.
I think
could. Yeah.
Because I don't like. I think we should beat Washington. They're a mess.
Yeah.
That team's a mess.
Yeah.
That team just, I don't know what the hell they're doing over there. I have no idea which direction they're going.
Them and the
But
Dolphins.
that Buffalo game is one we could definitely lose.
Yeah. They're a good football team. They're not a pushover. Buffalo.
No, they're not. I just like it because it's at home.
Yeah.
But.
Home opener. You know, maybe a little extra juice. Let's go Super Bowl. We hope so, Cameron. We hope so.
Wish.
Yeah. Philly has some type of special culture where players want to go there, Lamel Sinclair. Maybe that is the case. I don't know. Well, I mean, the same thing in 2011 didn't work out, but they got all the superstars with that team. Maybe, I don't know.
New York for Life 12. It's 5-zip Yankees. Aaron Judge hit a 2-run homer in the first, and Gardner just hit a 3-run bomb here in this last inning. So they're up 5-zip.
Real New York Giants Moppy says, I can't remember the last time we lost to Buffalo. It has been a while. It has been a while. I remember, I don't know if it was against Buffalo or the Seahawks when I was in high school. I think the score was like 6-3 or 9-6. Yeah, it was like a really
Seahawks, I think.
Yeah, it was the Seahawks, right? It was one of the most boring. Giants won. One of the most boring games I ever watched. Let's see. The Buccaneers do have a great passing. Yes, they do, GOAT. But the Giants will be able to put up points on them as well. Lamel, we just said that. Philly has some special culture where players want to go. Your thoughts? Yeah, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't know. Maybe. Well, they don't have a salary cap. We just talked about that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they don't have a salary cap. I know.
No,
I don't know
why they.
Who wants to go there besides Jimmy and Connie?
Well,
Jimmy Connie wants to go whoever is going to pay him. It don't matter.
Yeah, he's about the money.
You know, but I don't know who else.
Well, I think people.
Philly. Who else wants to go to Philly?
Yeah, people probably view it as a place where they could go and win. You know, at least for now. Let's see what we got here. Tane and Baddog, do you guys think the Jaguars make a return to the? Yes, I think they are going to make the playoffs after the Colts.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think they're a sleeper to potentially do some damage in the playoffs. I'm not going to say Super Bowl, but if they get in with Nick Foles, he's got that that pedigree. They got a strong defense. They could do some damage in the playoffs if Fournette stays healthy.
D.D. Westbrook is poised to have a big year if he can stay healthy too. So, and with Luck retiring, I mean that opens it up a lot.
Yeah.
And then Lamar Miller just tore his ACL, so Houston don't have a running back now.
Yeah.
So,
Duke Johnson, I think they got, but he's not.
It's looking good for Jacksonville.
And Tennessee I don't like Tennessee, but they always seem to hang around. They could be in there too, but I like Jacksonville.
Yeah.
With Zeke out and Tate in, would we have a shot against Dallas? The way it is now, it's a heavy lift. I think we have a shot regardless. I mean, you can win on any given Sunday. I think we have a shot. It's just a matter of how good of a shot do we have.
Without Zeke, I think we're right. I think we can play with them.
Yeah.
With Zeke, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I mean, Dallas won the division last year. They were 13-3 a couple of years ago. They got a great defense. They got a really good offensive line. And they got a quarterback that don't turn the ball over, and that's tough to beat. Giants got to force some turnovers.
Absolutely. Let's see what we got. You guys think DeAndre Baker could be a top... What's up, Darnell? Thank you for tuning in, buddy. He says, you guys think DeAndre could be a top 5... No, not this year. DeAndre Baker will... No, not too soon. Yeah. Too soon. It's
maybe by the end of the year, Darnell. Maybe by the end of the year, he'll be one of the top corners. I mean, he just needs experience. We were talking about that earlier in the stream, how there's talent on the defensive side of the ball, but they're very young. Carter's a second-year player. Dexter Lawrence is a rookie. B.J. Hill's a second-year player. McIntosh is a second-year player. Baker's a rookie. Ballantyne's a rookie. Peppers is a third-year player. Grant Haley's a second-year player. So you really don't have a lot of experience. They're going to need to get experience, and I think that they can grow, but they're going to have some growing pains.
Yeah, they only got two veterans on that whole defense. That's Ogletree and Janoris Jenkins. And Janoris Jenkins will probably be traded before the end of the year.
And Bethay's a veteran.
Oh, Bethea, of course. Yeah, Bethea, yeah. Let's see, we got it. Rookie quarterbacks struggle a lot. It's one of the hardest positions to translate into the NFL. Quarterback's obviously the hardest, but it's one of them.
Yeah.
Week 10, y'all think it's Manning versus Darnold or Jones versus Darnold? That's a great question, Jeremy. I honestly don't know that. It's all dependent on how the Giants play. If the Giants are playing bad, it's going to be Jones. If the Giants are hanging around, it's going to be Eli. There's no way. It's all dependent on that.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. We'll see. If the Giants are 6-3 going into that game, you're getting Eli Manning. If we're 3-6,
you're getting Daniel Jones.
I still don't know why they would start Daniel Jones. I think they would hold him until after the bye. To be honest with you, unless the Giants are real, if we start off 1-5, then you might see Daniel Jones week 7, and he may go forward from there. But,
yeah, I could see. I think that will happen if we're 1-5.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think week 7 you'd see him against the Cardinals.
I think that's the earliest I see him starting because I don't think they put him in against the Patriots for his debut.
No.
In Foxborough, I don't see that. You and us both, Kid Blue. We've been waiting for this season to start forever. Can Ogletree put it together for an entire season instead of a few games? That's a big question. Oh, thank you so much, Batgirl. But that is a big question, Don. I'm going to get to that super chat in a second. That is a big question. Ogletree showed spurts last year where he played great. So the San Francisco game specifically. Bears game rather. But he was bad in coverage throughout the majority of the season. He's a big key to this defense this year. And Batgirl, thank you so much. Let me get to that super chat. She says, I think the Cowboys will have a big letdown right out of the gate and lose to the Giants. To me, they lose even if Zeke plays. Doubt he gets a deal done. Batgirl, from your lips to God's ears. I really hope so. And we'll see. It has gone way longer than I thought it would. We're now a week before the season, pretty much, and he still hasn't signed a deal.
The Cowboys supposedly offered him another deal, or they're going to offer him more money.
Yeah, he's got to take it.
But hey, well, like I said, let the Cowboys please sign Cooper, Dak, and Zeke for a lot of money. Give Dak his $35 million, give Zeke his $16 million, give Cooper his $19 million, be done with it.
Yeah,
and then be done with it for a couple years when you got no money to spend anywhere else.
My chat just froze. I'm just trying to get it caught back up for a second. If not, I'll pull it up on my phone. There we go. I think we're good. Please thumbs up the stream, guys. What's going on, Rel Briscoe? Thank you for tuning into the stream. Go ahead and shout out those questions, guys. Just having fun. We got the Cowboys on deck week 1. And like I said, Baddog, go on over there. Subscribe to his channel. He'll be live streaming the game on Thursday. So that should be a lot of fun. Yeah. And I'm going to try to pop in there for the fourth quarter this week with the work schedule.
Yes, and my boy DWG will be in the house. He will be in the house this Thursday. This live stream's been a lot of fun, so definitely come over there and check that out, man. We watched Daniel Jones get his first start in the NFL, and let's see if he can continue his momentum. Hopefully he comes out and he has a nice, 8 out of 10, couple touchdowns.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Real New York Giants Mafia, what's up, man? He says, who's the best player in the defensive unit in your opinion? They want to feed us Ogletree, but I'm not buying it. It's not Ogletree. Ogletree's the most experienced, other than Jenkins. But I'm leaning Jabril Peppers. Or I can't say Lorenzo Carter yet. I could say I could say Dexter Lawrence. I think he's going to be really good, but I'll say Jabril Peppers going into the season.
I'm a big Lorenzo Carter fan. Yeah. I think Lorenzo Carter going to be the best player on this defense.
Yeah.
And he's
I
got
hope
to.
so.
He's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the outside linebacker is a big spot in a 3-4 defense. So he's got to make plays. He's got to.
You could still argue Janoris Jenkins too. If he
Yeah.
could bounce back, you could argue him as well.
I thought Janoris Jenkins has done a pretty good job so far this year.
Yeah.
I thought he's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a strong year. I really do. Delano says Lorenzo. I think a lot of people are gonna say Lorenzo. It's just too early for me to say that, but I hope. I think he definitely could be at some point this year for sure. Good article on Ballantyne in the New York Post today about his recovery from the bullet, which is still lodged in his body. I didn't get to read the article yet, but I read about that, Marjorie. I'm going to check that out. I also read that Saquon Barkley came out and said that he's the best running back in football, which I like to hear.
Well, I mean, he's just telling us what we already know. I mean, it's funny how Cowboy fans are kind of backed off of Zeke being the best running back in the league now.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say this right now. If Zeke Elliott left the Cowboys and went to a different team, I bet you Cowboy fans wouldn't say he's better than Ezekiel Elliott or better than Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, he's not.
This shows you that there's just straight bias.
He's just not. He's not. I mean, he's got the experience. He's a better blocker. And he's got the experience. I'll give him
better
that.
blocker.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it.
Last Jedi says, who do you think will make a much bigger impact, Ingram or Shepard? I'm gonna say Ingram. Jedi is, obviously they both play 16 games. I'm gonna say Ingram. I think he fits the offense very nicely. I think you agree with me on that.
I think it has to be Evan Ingram, Jedi. I think if the Giants' passing attack is going to work, it has to be Evan Ingram. He's got to step up. He's got to be what he was his rookie year, where he had the 66 catch. He did drop a lot of passes that year as well, but he's got to stay healthy. He's got to be that target, that big target. He's got to beat those linebackers. I mean, he runs a 4.40, and he's incredibly athletic. He's very fast. And on a play-action pass down the seam.
Well, that's exactly it.
That linebacker steps up. Ingram should be behind him, and Eli's got to hit him, and Ingram's got to catch it. It's there to be had. They just have to execute.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If this offensive line is as advertised, the play action is going to benefit Ingram the most because those linebackers come up and bite. Those are the guys who should be guarding him in coverage, and he should be able to get over the top, up the seam for 15, 20 yards. So I think Ingram, if this offensive line is strong, could have a big, big year for the Giants.
Yeah.
Who's making the cut, Conrad or Simonson? Baddog answered that earlier. He said Conrad.
I think Conrad's makes the cut over. So Simonson hasn't looked good. He dropped 20 drop passes.
Yeah. Backo's got a question. She says, "Is Ingram the guy who played for Stanford? Is it Ingram the guy for? No, he didn't play for Stanford. Did Evan Ingram?
I don't think he played for Stanford. Where the hell did Ingram play?
I can't remember. I don't think it was Stanford.
Oh God, it wasn't Stanford. But I can't off the top of my head remember where the hell he went to college.
What's up, Arthur? Thank you for tuning. Ole Miss.
Kid Blue would probably know that.
He knows Ole Miss. Ole
Miss. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that.
I play Rhett Ellison a good amount too. Yeah. Well, they play a lot of two tight end sets. They play a lot of two tight end sets. I expect Ellison to get a lot of playing time.
Well, that's what we expect to see. Two tights and a fullback.
Yeah.
I mean, let's go. Old-fashioned football.
Max protection.
Smash mouth football. Let's go. Listen, that's what Gettleman wanted to build here. That's why he went out and got Nate Solder. That's why he drafted Will Hernandez. That's why he traded for Zeitler, and that's why he signed Remmers. That is so he can play smash mouth football with the best running back in the league. Right. You got to see that. Got to see those 7 blockers on the line in the fullback. It's not a sexy formation, but you know what? It's effective because Evan Ingram can also receive. So it's almost like you have a wide receiver out there in a 2 tight end set, an extra wide receiver. So.
EDP's number one fan says, do you think Golden Tate, I don't even know what he means by get off the darts, bud, but I don't know what that means. But he says, do you think Golden Tate is a number 1 wide receiver?
No.
No. He's a good number 2. He's a slot wide receiver. He's a very good number 2. He's not a number 1.
Yeah.
There should be a college called Great Moss. Raphael doing it. yeah, Last Jedi. That would be a good guess that he might have played at a school called Old Miss.
Yeah, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Same school Eli went to.
Yeah. I can't wait for Smash. Oh God, yeah. That's what this season's gonna be all about, Kid Blue. Smash mouth football. Jam it down your throat. Gotta go to work tomorrow. Have a good night. And Mr. Baddog on Thursday. He'll see you on Thursday. All right, good stuff, man. D-Man Entertainment. Thank you for tuning in, buddy.
Yeah, D-Man.
Yes, Gabe, I completely agree with that. He says that the Le'Veon Bell holdout it has an effect on the Zeke situation. I completely agree with that because Le'Veon Bell didn't get paid what everybody anticipated that he would. It kind of lowered the market for the running back position.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell had 1 year left in his contract. Zeke's got 2. We're 3 because he didn't report to camp in time. So he's got no leverage. But I guess he does because the Cowboys are they're breaking. Yep. They're breaking for him. So it paid off. Now every running back's going to do it.
Yeah,
every running back's going to do that. Except for Saquon. He probably won't do that.
Hopefully not.
But
hopefully not.
We got 224 people in here, guys. So really, really appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight on this Tuesday night for Talking Giants. We get 91 likes. Come on, guys.
Spike the like, guys. Let's go.
Spike that like. Let's go.
Thank you guys for being a part of the stream. Please hit that thumbs up. Go in the description and sub up Mr. Baddog. He's going to be calling the game on Thursday. And thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it.
We should have 130 likes right now.
It is what it is, man. Sometimes people that,
they're going right now. They're doing it right
People just don't like to hit the like. I don't know what to tell you.
Sometimes they just forget. I mean, they get enthralled by the conversation. They're like, oh, I got to hit. There you go. It's jumping now. Hit that for the. I mean, it's just football season, baby. Let's go.
Tam Hill in the house. What's going on, Tam Hill? Dan F. Sorry.
It's totally off topic. But, oh, my God. College football starts this weekend. Well, actually, it already started.
Yep.
It starts for me Sunday.
Notre Dame plays Monday, I think. September 2nd is their first game.
Sooners play September 1st against Houston. I can't believe the Sooners play Sunday. Holy cow. Jedi will be there. Jedi's a Sooner, man.
I appreciate that, EDP. He says I look like a pimp with the headphones. I do appreciate that.
He looks like a pimp without them.
Yeah, see? I'm a pimp. Either way, I'm a pimp. Thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. Let's see what we got here. Would it be the perfect situation if the Colts traded for Eli? Then they would have 2 Mannings that's played for the... Chad, I agree. I think it fits well. I think Eli fits really well in that situation. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's why Baddog and myself had the same exact thought process. When Luck retired, we both thought that Eli would fit there very well. And Batco, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. She says, do you wish the Giants had a GM like the Eagles? Philly 500 has convinced me he is magic in a bottle. Philly 500 should work for the Eagles team, I think. Howie Roseman's done a great job for them via, in the draft, being a magician with the cap. He's done a great job. I can't say anything bad about him to this point. He won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's done a really good job.
Yeah, Kid Blue. Oh man, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, if you guys don't hit that like button, I will send you all to the Ram Ranch. Great show as always. I appreciate that, Kid Blue. And go on over that guy's channel. I like the channel as much as I can. I think he's one of the most underrated channels on YouTube. Please subscribe to Kid Blue. Great channel.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome.
Yeah,
Kid Blue's awesome.
And City for Real, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, bends the knees, smashes the like button. I appreciate that, City for Real. Thank you for being a great subscriber.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, Howie Roseman's up there. I can't hate. He's one of the better GMs. I can't hate.
He is. But you know what? The Eagles still have a cap. They still have to abide by the cap. So, go ahead, give Jadeveon Clowney $22 million a year for the next 5 years. Go ahead. I want them to. Yeah. Because Jadeveon Clowney's never had double-digit sacks in his career, and he's dealt with injury. You want to give that guy $110 million for 5 years? Be my guest.
Yeah, I don't think the Giants should give him that money. To be honest with you, next year with the cap space they have, I don't think he's worth it. And he's injury prone. Steven even says, "How do I get Batgirl to send me some money?" And Goat, you son of a bitch. Steven Evans, man. What's going on, Elias? Stand up. What's going on? What's up, fam? Go ahead and shout out those Giants questions, guys. What's going on, Bobby? Thank you for popping in.
Bobby's in the house.
Go on over there and check his channel out. He's got a good channel too. Upgrade over who? Oh, yeah, you're asking somebody else a question. Go ahead and ask those questions, guys.
Oh, God, it's a huge upgrade. Chad Wheeler was the worst run-blocking lineman in the league.
Yeah.
Not tackle. Lineman.
Oh, God, he was horrible.
Huge upgrade.
Yeah, he was. I think he was ranked the worst, wasn't he, last year by PFF?
Worst run-blocking lineman.
Did Eric Flowers qualify? Did Eric Flowers qualify? Because it maybe didn't play enough games?
Eric Flowers was a better run blocker.
Oh, God, that's bad. That's bad.
It is bad.
My personal favorite Giant ever, just because I didn't get to live. I'm born in '85. I didn't get to appreciate LT. Is Eli Manning, and yours is LT.
LT tweeted out today. I forgot what it was. But it showed that he had like 124 sacks by 1990, and I made sure to ask him, not that he responded. But I said, does that include the 9.5 sacks you had in 1981 when it wasn't an official stat? So the Giants claim that Michael Strahan is their all-time sack leader, which is incorrect. Right. He had 141.5. Lawrence Taylor actually had 142. Lawrence Taylor is the GOAT.
Oh, he is.
Lawrence Taylor. You had to have seen him.
He's arguably
all
the
you
greatest.
Say is go to my channel, right? And I forgot which channel, which page it's on. I don't know if you have to be, I don't know if that's when you're new to my channel or returning subscriber, but I have a video of Lawrence Taylor on there. Best freaking Lawrence Taylor video on YouTube.
It's got like 10 million views.
It's unbelievable.
Wish you got the credit for those.
Wish I did.
Fred Silva says, be honest, would you take Darnold and Josh Allen or Barkley and Daniel Jones? I am being honest, Fred Silva. And Bad Dog, we already know the answer. He hates Darnold. I like Darnold. And I think I would go with Barkley. Barkley, I think, is a game changer. And Daniel Jones, if they provide the right pieces, I think Daniel Jones could be a successful quarterback. So as long as Jones is good, Barkley was the right pick. Period. End of story. From last year.
Yeah, give me Daniel Jones would be better than Sam Darnold. I have no doubt about that.
I hope so. I hope so.
I have no doubt about that. None.
Yeah.
None.
What's going on, Dyer Giants fan? Thank you for tuning in the stream, buddy.
I always like the Jets fans. They crack me up. Well, I don't want to say Daniel Jones is good. It's just preseason. Yet Sam Darnold, who had 58% completion, 17 touchdowns, 15 picks last year, playing well in preseason. Wow, Sam Darnold's ready to take the next step. It cracks me up. So he's great in preseason. Daniel Jones is 10 times better in preseason, but that don't count. Sam Darnold. I love the bias. I love it. It cracks me up.
Oh, City for Real, thank you so much for the... You got to yell that one out, Bad Dog.
Stella!
He just yelled it at his neighbor, and he thinks I'm cray. City for Real, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate that.
Well, I am cray, so it makes sense.
Big Blue for Life's in the house. What's going on, buddy? He says, do you think the Giants will throw the ball deep more this season? I don't think so, actually, no. I think they're going to be more of a ball control offense this season.
Yeah, because think about it. We didn't throw the ball deep a lot last year with Odell Beckham.
Right.
We don't have a deep threat. There's no deep threat unless Darius Slayton cracks the lineup and starts and gets in there. You know, Shepard's not stretching the field. Latimer and Fowler aren't stretching the field. So, no, I think it's going to be a controlled passing game. I think the biggest deep threat we have on offense at the moment is Evan Ingram.
Or maybe even splitting Saquon Barkley out as a wide receiver or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes out on a wheel route, I mean, you get matched up with a safety or linebacker, you're winning.
Yeah. Good night. Batgirl, thank you so much. She says, when I visited New York in America last year, the Syracuse college team had a player who played for the Giants. I think his name was Jim or Joe Moore. Yeah. Batgirl, thank you so much for the super chat. Great.
It was Joe Morris.
Yeah, great New York Giant.
Backer.
Yeah.
Actually, Joe Morris is the single-season touchdown rushing record for the Giants. 21 touchdowns in 1985.
Super Bowl MVP,
I Googled that, guys. I Googled it.
I actually got his autograph. That's one of the few autographs I have. I have his autograph.
Put on a few pounds.
Yeah, I got Steven it's on the same mini helmet. I got him, and I got Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I loved Joe Morris. Joe Morris was a good running back. Joe Morris was a very good running back. From 1985 and 86, he was one of the best running backs in football.
Oh, yeah.
Really
He had like a 1700-yard season, something like that.
Yeah, in 86, he had 35 touchdowns between 85 and 86.
Wow.
Yeah, and he ran over 1,500 yards, 15 or 1,600 yards in 1986. He was a damn good running back. And then he got hurt, and it was kind of the end of that.
I've heard that if not traded by week 1, Josh Doctson will be cut. Would you guys sign him? That's an interesting name. He's kind of been a letdown, but he is a deep threat. He is known to be a deep threat. He catches a lot of long touchdowns. Might make sense.
Actually, if they cut him, I would take a chance.
Yeah.
He's been in the league 3 years. He's only 26. And he was amazing at TCU. Actually, I was talking to HCTR about this. I don't know how Josh Doctson's chemistry is with Dwayne Haskins, but Josh Doctson is a lot. And being a Big 12 guy, I saw him at TCU, and I thought Josh Doctson was going to be a star. And he has a hard time. He has a hard time staying completely healthy. He's banged up a lot, and he has a hard time catching the ball.
Right.
But I think maybe in a different system, if you just get him out of there and he starts over, why not?
He's worth the flyer.
I mean, Josh Doctson's going to be better than Britton Golden,
right?
Reggie White Jr., Darius Slayton at this point.
Yeah.
And all the other guys that we talked about.
I would take a flyer
So,
if he was available. Absolutely.
Why not take a shot at Josh Doctson? It's not like he costs anything. He's on his rookie contract. So
West Coast says, if the Giants have a bad year, is Gettleman and Shermer on the hot seat? No.
Till next year.
Yeah, next year, we always say it, you cannot judge a quarterback until their second season. And this isn't technically even Daniel Jones' first season, not even going to play. But next year is when you'll be able to judge them. If Daniel Jones is really bad next year, that is when people are going to be potentially calling for Shermer and Gettleman's job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna get rid of Shermer and Gettleman after they just drafted a rookie quarterback. You're not gonna get rid of them right away.
Yeah.
You're gonna want Daniel Jones to play in that system at least 1 year. I think actually Gettleman and Shermer are good through 2021. I think if they're still bad in 2021, then you're going to see them clean house.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because this year, I know that they're saying they're building, and nobody expects the Giants to do anything.
Yeah.
This year, 2020, they should start to show a lot of improvement.
Yeah.
A lot.
With the cap space, more draft picks.
Right, the cap, another year of drafts. 2020, they should really start to take off.
Yeah, I agree. And more maturation from the young players they currently have on the roster. Yeah. And there we go. Kristen Orr singing the summer wind. Thank you, Kristen Orr. Thank you, Chris. Nope, but DJ is probably starting next year. Oh, DJ's definitely starting next year.
Absolutely. He'll probably be starting by the end of this year.
Yeah. If the Giants have a losing record by the trade deadline this year, do you expect them to be active with trades again 100%?
Jenkins will be gone.
Ogletree could potentially be gone.
Yeah. Brett Ellison could be gone.
Yeah.
Not that anyone wants a tight end, but,
Yeah, the veterans that make a lot of money could all potentially be shipped out of here. What do the Giants do if Clowney and Tunsil are both free agents after this season?
Tunsil.
I go Tunsil in a second.
Tunsil, absolutely. Leave Clowney out there. Clowney's going to be overpaid.
Is Tunsil a free agent after this year?
16, 17, 18, 19. They could probably franchise him, right? This is his fourth year.
Yeah. If he is, Tunsil is very good, and he's gotten better every year. So
because Tunsil could play right tackle, and then when Solder's contract's up, you can move him back over to left tackle and draft a right tackle or sign a right tackle. So I love Tunsil. When I did that trade video a couple of days ago, that's the guy I think makes the most sense for the Giants. Trent Williams ain't coming here, and like I said, Jadeveon Clowney is going to cost a lot in picks, and he's going to make too much money. I like Clowney. He's not worth the money he's asking. Someone's going to give that guy $100 million. I don't want Clowney for $100 million.
No way. He's more reputation than anything else. He hasn't had the production. Clocks says, what's up, Clocks? He says, if we are going to take an O-lineman in the first or second round next year, I missed it. I think he said let's just trade for. Let's just get Tunsil and be done with it. The thing is I would love to get Tunsil. From what I've read, the Dolphins aren't really. They're kind of, you hear mixed reports. They're saying they're not looking to trade him. I don't know what he would cost. He would cost a lot. He would cost probably a first round pick for sure.
Yeah. West Coast. Why didn't the Giants just draft Tunsil? West Coast because our GM was Jerry Reese. Guy never did anything that made any sense, man.
Batgirl, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, "Will you or Baddog be streaming UFC 242 on 9/7?" Somebody asked me to do one of those. I think you did actually, Batgirl. If I'm free, I might do it. I've never done one of those. Maybe. I don't want to guarantee it.
I can tell you I will not because the Oklahoma Sooners play that day. I'll be streaming Sooners football. That's my go-to on Saturdays.
But thank you so much.
And I don't have time to stream twice a day anymore.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's tough. I don't know how you did it last year, man. I don't know. Yeah. Tanner and Baddog, what's your earliest memory of the Giants? Well, I'll start. Probably. My dad, 19 when they won the Super Bowl, wide left. I remember I was a little kid. I was 5 years old, but I remember it. I was at a house party, and my dad couldn't watch the last play. He had to go to the bathroom, and he couldn't watch the kick. And I remember him screaming in the bathroom because he didn't want to watch it. So that's my earliest memory of the New York Giants.
My earliest memory of the New York Giants is. 1984 is the year I started watching them. I don't remember a lot from 84, but I do remember them getting off to a 2-0 start that year. And if I'm not mistaken, they beat both Dallas and Philly in the first 2 weeks after coming off a 3-win season in 1983. So though that the game against Philadelphia, I vaguely remember, but I guess the one that I really remember most because I really started paying attention to it was when they beat the Rams in the playoffs, and then of course they lost to the 49ers. I forgot who the hell one of the linebackers picked up a pass. I don't remember if it was Harry Carson. Remember the Giants had a chance to beat 49ers in '84. They turned Joe Montana over a lot, but their offense couldn't do anything that year. So.
One of my favorite I think my favorite Giant Eagle memory, because you brought up Giants Eagles, it's probably 2005. Eli Manning, the comeback down 17 points in the fourth quarter. That's up there for me. That was a pretty good one.
Me against the Eagles, definitely the Jason Sehorn interception in the 2000 divisional playoff. That's one of the most ridiculous interceptions I've ever seen in my life.
That was he tips it up in the air on his back. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like rolling around on the ground. He knocks it up in the air. He gets up, picks it off, and takes it in for a touchdown. And I loved Sehorn. That was my guy. So I was really happy for him. But that's the Eagle one that really, as far as victories go, because we haven't had many of those.
Well, God, yeah.
2005 against them. But yeah.
But I just remember that. I just remember watching the 2005 game, and that is when I bought into Eli. His rookie year, he struggled, and it was early in the season, right? It was like week 2, 3. It was early in the season, I think.
Yeah, they might have been week 3.
Yeah, and they're down 17 points going to the fourth, and they make this miraculous comeback, and I said, "That's my quarterback." That's when I knew he was a guy that I could get behind.
The clutch gene started right there.
Yeah.
You could see those comebacks. He's always had that,
Let's see what we got here. Tunsil was a surefire top 5, most likely top. Let's go champ 100% because of the gas mask. A lot of people had him number 1, I remember.
Yeah, he was definitely a top 5.
Yeah.
He was definitely a top 5. That's how Jalen Ramsey ended up. I mean, it messed everything up. It messed everything up because the Cowboys, I believe Bosa, where did Bosa end up going? San Diego.
Yeah.
San Diego was supposed to draft Tunsil, if I'm not mistaken, and that was going to knock everything back. And I think the Cowboys were going to go after Bosa. I don't think they were going to take Ezekiel Elliott. Or did they draft after the Jaguars?
I think he was 4th. I think the Cowboys picked 4th.
Who picked 3rd? Jacksonville?
Jacksonville might have taken Bortles in that draft. Was that a Bortles?
No, they took Ramsey in that draft.
Ramsey in that draft, okay.
And I can't remember if they picked before the Cowboys because I think the Cowboys wanted Jalen Ramsey. And maybe he went beforehand. It just got really screwed up. That Tunsil, Giants should have taken him anyway.
Oh God, they should have taken him. But you know how the Giants are. They're very conservative by the book, and it's the second that they heard pot, you knew they weren't going to take him.
All right. Well, Jerry Reese is a moron. Still trying to recover from those terrible drafts.
Let's see what we got here. Dallas is going to be a major disappointment this year. Not to us Giants fan, obviously. I hope so. I hope the whole division, but the Giants. I hope this is disappointing, Rudy. That'd be nice. Yeah. Oh my God, Apple. The Giants panicked. We talk about that all the time. That was a clear panic pick because the 2 guys that they thought they were going to take both got traded up. The teams traded up to get them, and then the Giants just panicked. They said, "What are we going to do? What are we going to do?" And that's when they took Apple. And
when the Bears traded up to 8, that's when it started. I just remember just F-bomb just as loud as I could.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, Conklin's still there, and I just started shaking my head. I'm like, what the heck? And then they took Eli Apple, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
That was just as bad as my day. Of course, that wasn't recorded live, but that was just as bad as the Daniel Jones. I mean, I was just as mad at that. I mean, I have a video on I have a second channel on here. That Eli Apple, it's not a reaction. It's the day after. Oh, I'm not happy. I mean, I'm screaming at the camera for 8 minutes, just swearing every other word.
Yeah, he was a project. You don't take a project at 10.
No, he was.
Yeah,
he sucked.
Yeah. Let's not talk. I don't want to get depressed. Let's see. We got drafting Flowers was a blessing and a curse because we had a chance to take Gurley, but if we had Gurley, we wouldn't need Saquon. Well, you could say that, but then they could have taken. Well, Gurley got hurt though, so I guess in a way you could kind of look at it like that. Didn't he get cut by the Saints? No, he didn't get extended by the Saints, but I think he's still on the team. I think he's eligible to be. Same thing that happened to Conklin. Conklin, they didn't sign him to the 5th-year extension, but he's still on the team for his 4th year. I think it's the same thing with Apple, if I'm not mistaken.
West Coast, Goff, Wentz, Bosa, Zeke. Okay, so Tunsil was supposed to go to San Diego. That's what I remember. Bosa then would have fallen to the Cowboys, and they wanted Joey Bosa. So that's, I think, how they ended up taking Ezekiel Elliott. Because Tunsil was supposed to go to San Diego, and that he got knocked all the way back to 12th because of that picture.
Which I'll tell you, on the night of the draft, I was very happy that the Cowboys took Ezekiel Elliott. Because, I mean, obviously he's great. But I said to myself, they already got this all-world offensive line. I was happy they didn't focus somewhere else. Obviously, Zeke's worked out to be unbelievable. But,
yeah.
But I was surprised they took a running back there with the offensive line they had. I was like, you could stick anybody back there. They're going to play pretty well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Let's see what we got here. What happened to Manningham? He's out of the league. He's out of the league.
Retired.
Yeah.
Bosa was mad, and his mom was mad too because he came here. I was worried about it. He could have been. Oh, yeah, Bosa held out for a long time, Senor, his rookie year. Till he got more money.
Have a good night, Hipbit. Thank you for tuning in to the stream, buddy. Thank you to everybody for being here. If you haven't done so, please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe. Ring the bell. Go into the description and sub up my man, Mr. Baddog 7676.
There's a candle in here. So I was wondering why I had that. That's what I meant to do. And I don't know why I had that in my hand. Now I remember.
What price is too high for Patrick Peterson? Well, how old is Peterson now? Patrick Peterson.
He's not that old.
27, 28?
Yeah. He's going to want too much money.
Yeah. We already have a lot of corners, too. We drafted it.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of corners.
I want to spend the money elsewhere. I'll always give you a little thumbs up, Chris. I appreciate that, EDP. You freak you. I do appreciate that. 30 years old, Delano says. All right, 30 years old. Fun fact, Joey Bosa's grandfather was a bodyguard for Al Capone. Interesting.
Nice. It is interesting, yeah.
Have a good one, Trisha. Thank you for tuning in the stream.
Yes.
Was the last white corner. That is crazy. I did not know that. Jason Sion was the last white cornerback in the NFL? Is that true?
It could be.
That is crazy.
I'm trying to think. I mean, it's just been safeties. Well, perhaps.
Yeah, that's crazy. Who was more instrumental in the 2011 run? Cruz. Or Knicks was great, but you got to go Cruz. I mean, that team took off when Cruz came in my opinion. I mean, Cruz has the signature play against the Jets, and then the game against the Niners was unbelievable.
Yeah, Knicks was huge against the
Packers.
The Falcons and Packers.
Right.
And then Cruz had 10 catches against Carlos Rogers in San Francisco. And Cruz had the touchdown in the Super Bowl. So the only passing touchdown Eli threw was to Cruz on their first drive. Or maybe it was their second drive after Tuck got it was their second drive. Giants drove down the field. Eli Manning got sacked out of field goal range. Giants pinned him deep, holding in the end zone. So safety. As Tom Brady threw it in the middle of the field. He intentionally grounded it out of the end zone. Got the safety, and the Giants went right down and scored.
I remember when he threw that to Cruz. I'm like, that's a horrible pass off the arm. I remember when he made that throw. I thought it was gonna be picked off.
Bullet.
Yeah.
Threw it right in there.
Yeah. No, it ended up being a great pass. But when I was watching it live before the throw was complete, I'm like, that's gonna be picked off, and it worked out. It was obviously.
I remember when he threw that pass. They went 9-0. I said, we're gonna blow them out. Because they had dominated. I mean, they had the ball. The Giants had the ball like 12 or 13 minutes in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I'm like,
much like the first game, much like the first time they played.
Yeah.
Obviously, they weren't dominating them, but the first drive they shoot up like 10 minutes.
I can't remember if the Giants even like how many times they punted. They didn't punt much.
Oh, thank you so much, Kid Blue. If you haven't done so, go on over there and subscribe to him. He says would be more worried if Ramsey was a Cowboy. I kind of agree with you. Because I think that they could be very productive with a decent running back there. So I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
We told him yes. Cruz, they were both incredibly instrumental, though, Delano. I mean, Hakeem Nicks, had he not had the injuries, would have been an all-time great Giant. I mean, that guy was a great wide receiver there for about a 2 or 3 year stretch. Much like Victor Cruz.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Nicks was definitely very, very good. Cruz took off. I mean, Cruz had like 1,500 yards receiving, and he didn't start until week 4 against the Eagles. Yeah, there's an Eagles memory that I remember. Victor Cruz torching Nasiamdawa. Their $60 million corner.
Yeah, they were saying he was Darrelle Revis when they got him.
Yeah, they torched him.
Yeah, but would you say? I think it was arguably the greatest wide receiving core in New York Giants history. That 1 year.
Gotta be.
Victor Cruz, Hakeem Nicks, and Mario Manningham.
Gotta be.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Gotta be. Well, I mean, 2008, who did they have? I mean, before he shot himself, I mean, Burris, Toomer, and Steve Smith are pretty damn good, too. Steve Smith holds the all-time record for receptions in a year.
Yeah.
That year. So, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good in it, too.
Tina and Baddog, what's your favorite Mike Francesa moment? We've played it before, the prank calls. But I did love the Eli Manning rant. That's up there for me. The Eli Manning rant was up there for me.
Mine is definitely his Mets rant when they got swept by the Rockies.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. You got swept by a team that was 46-73. He got thrown out of the base hit at second base. that Mets rant is classic.
When they benched Eli, that was for me a classic Francesa rant. It was like an hour long.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Reggie White Jr.? I think he's very talented, but I don't think he's making the roster. I think he's going to start in the practice squad.
Yeah, he's raw. He's got to develop. He's got to develop his skills.
What was your favorite Giants playoff run? Well, obviously it's going to be one of the 2 years they won the Super Bowl for me. I don't go back to where Bad Dog does. I got to go with the first one. They beat the undefeated Patriots, and that was more unexpected. 2011, well, it was still unexpected. They already had the prior history. So once they won that first Falcons game, you were like, all right, this might happen. The first time around, they beat the Bucs. All right, you're like, okay, we're going to lose to the Cowboys. Then they beat the Cowboys. Then so the first one was much more unexpected. So I got to go with the first one.
Me, it's 1990, without a doubt. They had a bunch of backups in there. They crushed the Bears, but then to go into San Francisco and Candlestick Park and beat that team that was going for a 3-peat bid. Nobody gave the Giants a shot in hell. One of the greatest games you'll ever see. Just the old school smash mouth, freaking hard hitting deep when you could play the game. That's a football game. That 1990 NFC Championship game is my favorite Giants game of all time. And I've seen all the Super Bowls, but that will always stand out in my head just because of all the moronic 49er bandwagon fans in my school that just would not shut their mouth to have them go in there and then win the Super Bowl the next week on top of it.
Oh.
I'll never forget that. I'll never, ever forget that.
It's funny you say that because my most memorable New York Giant game is an NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. It just so happens not to be 1990. It's 2007, right? Yeah, so that 11, was 11 rather. Yeah, that was my most memorable Giant game. How Eli Manning, we always talk about it. I mean, how he got killed in that game.
Here's the ironic thing about it. So Roger Craig fumbles. Giants recover. They go down. Number 9, Matt Barr kicks the game-winning field goal to send the Super Bowl. God, who the hell is the guy? Kyle Williams fumbles the punt. Giants go down. Number 9, Lawrence Tynes kicks the field goal to send the Giants to the Super Bowl. What are the odds? Both times in San Francisco, both number 9, both game-winning field goals.
That's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible.
I Googled it.
That's
I don't remember any of it. I Googled it.
Oh, man. Okay, let me ask this. Which Eli performance is a classic? Going into Green Bay back in 07, Niners. But Green Bay's pretty damn good. But Niners. Got to go Niners.
Oh, God. That's a great... That game, to me, is Eli's signature moment.
Yeah.
That was an incredibly tough defense. The field was terrible. The weather sucked. He threw it 58 times. He threw it for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, did not turn it over once. He probably got hit 20 damn times in that game.
At least. He got
and
crushed.
He just kept getting up and just kept throwing dimes.
I will say,
to me, showed his toughness, his grit, his heart, determination, everything. Yeah. Anything you could ever want a quarterback is in that game.
Oh, phenomenal.
That is Eli Manning's signature. If you didn't respect Eli Manning, I don't give a damn who you are. After that game, if you're any kind of football fan,
you're biased.
You looked at the game and said, I got a lot of respect for what that guy just went through, what he just did for the Giants.
And he brought up the Green Bay game. The Green Bay game is an all-time classic as well. But to me, and Eli was great in that game. The whole team was great.
Burris was amazing.
Burris was the guy. I say it all the time. Burris in that game in those conditions, going up against one of the best corners in the league at the time, and Al Harris, had one of the greatest individual games I've ever seen a wide receiver had. I think he had like 120, 130 receivers. I don't remember the stats, but he had 10, 11 catches in those conditions. It was insane.
That was against Al Harris. That was against one of the better corners.
One of the best. One of the best.
The one thing I remember about that game, it's the first play where the Giants handed off to Brandon Jacobs, and he gets 2 yards, but he destroys the defender.
Yes.
And when it's -20, that shit hurts.
He set the tone.
And I'm just sitting there going, they sent a message right there.
I remember that
here to play.
Knocked him right on his ass. And I remember the call, too. He said something about playing the Giants in this postseason is like going to get your cavities filled without Novocaine. He's just something like that was the call by the announcer after that play. And I remember watching it. I got so amped up. That was a signature play in that game. A lot of people forget about that. A little 2-yard run.
It's a 2-yard run, but man, that said we mean business.
Yeah.
You guys are in for a while, and the defense just destroyed them. Yeah. Giants completely dominated. Brett Favre got lucky on some blown coverage and found a guy. I forgot who it was. That had like a 90-yard touchdown. And
same thing happened in the 49er game. Alex Smith hit Vernon Davis for that long touchdown with the broken coverage early on. Yeah, same thing. And with the Packers when we played them in 2016 with the Hail Mary. But, Eli throw to Manning and best throw. I agree. Best throw.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you factor in the situation, best throw ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna find a better throw. I always like when they say, "Oh, look and catch." Like, you're out of your freaking mind.
Yeah.
When you say that, you just hate or you don't watch football, because there isn't a quarterback in the history of the game could have thrown a better ball 40 yards down the field, in between the safety and cornerback. Put that ball where only Manningham could catch it.
First play.
Yep. Justin Tuck says, how do you even do that? Eli says, I just know where he's going to be.
And have you ever heard Bill Belichick's clip on the sideline right before the play? Have you ever heard that?
No.
Bill Belichick goes, let Manningham beat us. Take Cruz and take Nix out of the play. That's what they did, and Manningham beat him. Obviously, Eli beat him, but
and then Manningham had a couple more catches on that drive.
Yeah. Yep.
So Eli said, okay, that's it. There you go. Eli said, "Oh, yep, no Cruz, no," and that tells you how good the line was.
Right.
He's not open. Manningham, bang. Manningham had like 3 catches for 70 yards on that drive or something crazy like that.
Yep.
The good old days, Chris.
Yeah.
It's been a while since you've been there.
But you know what? That's a lifetime worth of happiness. Those 2 moments were unbelievable. Nothing's ever going to top that for me. That 2007, in terms of sports, obviously. When I have a kid, hopefully that will. But in terms of sports, nothing's ever going to top that for me.
I tell you, man, people always ask me my favorite, and I always say 1990 is my favorite. But
you're probably, 86, but 90 were kind of really a sports fan, probably.
They're all special.
Yeah.
They're all special. Yeah, 86, I was young. I was 10 when they won it. And I remember being more happy for my father, who had grown up in the 60s and 70s when they sucked.
Right.
I mean, they sucked. And, they were awful. I mean, you guys think the Giants are bad now. Should have grown. The 70s were a lot worse. A lot worse. Like, the Cowboy fans always point to that all-time record. Between 1969 and 1983, I think the Giants were 2-22 or 2-24 against the Cowboys. That's why their all-time record is what it is. The Giants could not beat anybody from 69 to 83. 81, they made the playoffs, but they were terrible every year outside of that. They were really bad. Yep. Really, really bad.
Bill Parcells turned the corner. Turned the corner.
That and Lawrence Taylor. That's certainly.
Of course, yeah. Let's see what we got here. We'll hang out for about another 5-10 minutes, guys. So go ahead. If you got any more questions, shout them out. This is a great stream. Had a lot of fun today, talking some Giants history, talking some Giants Cowboys, talking some preseason football. We had a good stream today. Your Rushmore of head coaches. Mine is Belichick, Walsh, Gibbs, and Parcells. That's a pretty damn good one. But you got to put Lombardi on there, no?
Yeah, I would take Gibbs off.
Yeah,
put Lombardi there.
I think I'd have Lombardi instead of Gibbs.
And I don't know about Parcells. I might have to give Tom Landry or Don Shula. They're both pretty damn good. They're both pretty good coaches.
Yeah, have a good
George
night,
Halas, another one.
Yeah, I think Lombardi's got to be on there.
Yeah, you got to have Lombardi.
Lamel, have a good night.
Gibbs is fantastic, though. Joe Gibbs is the whole reason I don't hate the Redskins the way I hate the other teams.
Joe Gibbs, he won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Redskins from 1982 from 1982 to 1991, they were one of the best teams at football.
Yeah.
I mean, they played in 4 Super Bowls in 9 years, and they were always a perennial Super Bowl contender. Always.
Yeah.
I mean, if they would have won in 1983, they could have been considered a dynasty. The Niners won 4 in the 80s, and the Skins would have won 4 in that same exact time period. So
they were pretty much. I mean, 3 Super Bowls is pretty damn.
They got wrecked by the Raiders in '83, but
Okay, real quick. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Oh, that was.
Gabe says, "All right, I'll try to do this off the top of my head. List your top. I'm not going to do it in order. That's going to be too challenging. List your top 10 quarterbacks of all time: Brady, Montana, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Steve Young's in my top 10 somewhere. Elway, Marino. That's 7. I think I got to put Bradshaw in there. He's got 4 Super Bowls. That's 8. I know I'm leaving somebody off. Favre, maybe. I'll say Favre, 9. And who am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting somebody. Unitas. I'll say Unitas. That's my 10.
Yeah, 10 is a lot of that's a lot of quarterbacks, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of quarterbacks.
Oh, Breeze. I left him off. Breeze, I left him off. I put Breeze on there instead of Favre. I'll take Favre off. I'll put Breeze on.
Yeah. I like your list.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to Brady without a doubt. Montana, Marino, Elway.
I said Elway, guys. No, I said Elway. What about Mahomes?
Unitas.
He's played 1 year. I said Unitas, at the end.
Unitas has to be on there. Yeah, Breeze, definitely. Breeze has to be on there. Rodgers. Steve Young, he's got to be on there. He's got one of the all-time highest quarterback ratings of all time.
Steve Young was phenomenal.
Yeah, it's tough. 10 is tough.
Yeah. Mahomes only played 1 year. What's going on, Anthony Marchuka? Thank you for tuning in.
Mahomes has never won anything either.
Staubach.
Top 10 rookie seasons for a quarterback, he'd be in there.
Top 1. If you count that as his rookie season. Aaron Rodgers is an injury-prone. He gets hurt a lot. I think he's going to have a big year this year, though. I had Peyton in there, Kid Blue.
Yeah.
Peyton would probably be, I think he'd be third for me. Third for me, all time.
I'm trying to think where he'd be for me. He'd probably be in the same area. Brady's number 1.
You gotta have Brady 1. He's got 6. Montana 2, Peyton 3 for me.
Yeah, I can see that. That's tough. It's a tough question.
Yeah.
It's a tough question.
Most boring Super Bowl, quick.
One last year.
Yeah, that was really we called it.
Horrible.
That was awful. But the 49er-Charger one was really bad.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them in the 80s were bad.
Redskins Bills was really bad. I remember watching that.
Redskins Broncos was terrible. Well, it was fun though. I mean, it's fun. I like watching someone get the hell beat out of them, and I like those. I've always said this. Every year the Redskins have been in the Super Bowl, I've rooted for the Redskins.
Really?
I rooted for them against the Bills. I rooted for them against the Broncos. Yep, I rooted for the Redskins. Well, I want a Joe Gibbs one. That tells you all you need to know about how I respect the Skins. Eagles and Cowboys, I've never rooted for them.
No.
And I never will.
No.
Ever. Ever. Rooted against them every time. But I rooted for the Skins both times I saw them in the Super Bowl.
But, guys, it is 12 o'clock. I just want to read Marjorie's comment real fast. She says, my dad's favorite Giant player growing up was Jim Cavazzi, who is unofficially credited with a career total of 96.5 sacks, placing him third on the Giants' unofficial list. Interesting stat.
So no other Giant in the history of their team besides Strahan and Taylor have 100 sacks. Wow. I would have never known that.
100 sacks.
They haven't had great linebackers in there.
Yeah, 100 sacks is a lot of sacks. I mean,
It is.
Yeah, Justin Tuck didn't play long enough. OCU Manure, same thing.
Yeah.
Jason Pierre-Paul, same thing. But thank you guys so much for being a part of the stream. If you haven't done so, please subscribe, ring the bell, join the channel, go into the description, sub up Mr. Baddog 76. Oh, Darnell, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, everybody's doing this challenge, by the way. He says, have you guys tried the Popeye spicy chicken sandwich yet? It's good. I see everybody on YouTube doing this. They're doing they're comparing the Chick-fil-A to the Popeyes.
No Chick-fil-A up here. But the funny thing is, Darnell, swear to God, I had one of those today.
How was it?
Swear to God, one of my coworkers brought it in. Said, I have an extra sandwich. I'm like, I'm not eating that. They're like, eat it. I'm like, I'm not taking your lunch. Like, I had one yesterday. Eat it. Damn good, Chris.
I got to get it. There's tons of Popeyes where I work, so you know what?
Damn, that's a damn good sandwich.
I'm going to get it
I've never
tomorrow.
had a Chick-fil-A sandwich. There is no Chick-fil-A's up here. There's no Chick-fil-A's in upstate New York.
They got one by me, actually, Chick-fil-A. Maybe I'll do the challenge. Who knows? But thank you guys for being a part of the stream. We always have a blast doing this. We always say it's our favorite thing on YouTube to do, and you guys are a huge part of it. So thank you guys for being here. You guys are bigger. You are the show. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for supporting us. And of course, I'm always gonna let Baddog close it out, and then we're gonna wrap it up, guys.
Yeah, like he says, we can't do this without you guys. You guys are the best. Really appreciate all your questions, all your support, being here all the time. Really excited about regular season football. It's coming. Thursday night, I'll be live for the Patriots and Giants, so come on over, hang out. We have a lot of fun in those streams. Like I said, DWG here. Entertainer will join me later in the game. Watch Daniel Jones start and see where it goes. And until that time, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening and tomorrow, and we'll see you next time. For the Entertainer, it's the Baddog, and we are gone. Peace!